Boom. We're here.
Yeah, the
Welcome
delay was
back.
my fault. Sorry.
It's all Ace's fault, but he's the dungeon master and he can do
Deal with
whatever
it,
he
son.
wants to do.
I don't
Yeah.
know about that.
So, thanks for joining us today on this Tuesday. You're hanging with the Roll for Mischief Boys. The name of
Yeah.
the game is Voloheen, Winds of War. The name of the episode is this episode 8? Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it is.
Episode 8, Shifting Tides. Session 3,
Correct.
second half.
If you want to name it by part, this would be part 5.
Yep, this will be part 5.
We have so many naming conventions, it honestly confuses me, but one day I'll get around to it.
Really, the parts only matter for YouTube, so we're not going to go out of our way to point them out.
Yeah.
All right, so we are jumping in the middle of combat. We've just overcome Vincent's illusion.
It was all a dream. I used
or
to read
have
Word
we?
Up magazine.
As Josh has so aptly shown us that when you're dealing with illusion magic, anything could be fake.
Reality isn't real.
Yep. Eigner was in a cage, or was he? Eridu is fighting with
Zarkon.
Sarkon. Not Halifax, but Finnegan has just finished the counter spell that ended the illusion, and we rolled some initiative.
Yep.
And I'm going to really quickly get Vincent's initiative in here. It wasn't very. We roll it now. All right. On your guys' screen now is the turn order, with the exception of I am going to give Vincent a lower because that's fine. I don't want to go yet, guys. I'm eating. Y'all take an action, and then Vincent can go.
Okay. I crossed the gap and hit him with bestow curse.
All right.
Wisdom 15.
Sorry, I'm eating. He made the save. I rolled an 18.
Okay. Then nothing happens. It is a hit or miss spell.
You have used
Bummer.
a spell slot.
Bummer.
That is what happens.
Yep.
All right. In response, he's gonna hold out a hand as though trying to defend himself. Like, no. And let's see. Do you need to make a wisdom save, or do I need to make? Yeah, you need to make a. Theala needs to make a wisdom save. DC. Wow, it's not a very high DC. DC 14.
Yeah, 19.
Okay.
So we just basically slap each other in the face and nothing happens.
Pew.
On what happens on a success though?
If it says just on a failure, then nothing
Oh,
happens.
On a
with
success, the spell ends. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So you could see him beginning to do a bit of a somatic component. Semantics hands, right?
Somatic. Yeah.
Somatic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Semantics.
Semantics of how you say somatic.
Yeah.
With outstretched hand, saying no. He then mutters a quick word and twists his offhand in a way, and you, out of the corner of your eyes, see like a shadowy form. But you still yourself to know this man is just going to be casting every single illusion on the books, and it will not affect you. That would make it Agner's turn.
Okay, so Eigner, I'm pretty sure is still in this kind of crumpled fetal position, because everything that had happened was an extension of the illusion that he was experiencing. So it kind of makes me think of that Star Trek episode where Picard lives that whole long life. Lives that whole long life in just a moment or whatever, and then he wakes up and he's like, "Whoa, what?" So, and he is surrounded by bars right now.
Um, I'm gonna go with they are dissipating because Eridu did disable them last round.
Okay.
Last. And of all of you who are hit by the illusion, guess who was not?
Uh, Finnegan?
Eridu.
Eridu? Oh.
Well, Finnegan wasn't either,
Oh, well, yeah.
but that's why Eridu is like on his own trying to fight Zarkon.
Oh, hell yeah. Hmm. I see. So, um, with the bars dissipating and Eigner still, like, very much, like, out of his senses, and he also doesn't have his gear on him.
And he can't see anything.
Oh. Oh, shit. Eigner's blind, y'all.
Eigner is blind.
Eigner is legitimately blind. Oh, wow, this is huge. This is huge. So, to be clear, everyone, I did this completely willingly because Eigner leveled up and he was able to take a feat, and I saw there was this homebrew feat that was made by Josh, actually, and it's called Blind Sight, and I thought it was the dopest thing ever, and I decided to take it, and now this is how it's taken effect. Eigner, he's blind, and he's
We'll
having
probably release it on D&D Beyond either through Roll for Mischief or my Dragon's Plume. Or maybe
Yeah.
Roll for Mischief now and then I'll do it on Dragon's Plume later because I don't have a
yeah.
paid account yet for Dragon's Plume.
So you'll get to see how it plays out. But for right now, I got to go with the in-character thing, which is also the player action that's appropriate, where we're just so completely, yeah, in shock at the moment that the only thing that Egner does on his turn is he just stands up, and he just tries to listen and tries to get in touch with what the surroundings actually are and try and like reckon with the fact that he can't see at all.
Okay. So, that makes it our clash between Zarkon and Eridu. Those of you who are watching are Zarkon's got his dukes up in his big Warforged body, and he is throwing punches while Eridu is blocking. And Halifax, you see as Zarkon takes one hand and puts it to his chest, and this section of his chest starts to glow with like shadowy energy, and then his whole body goes inert for a moment, and a shadowy form leaves through that spot and appears behind Eridu. What are you gonna do?
I am going to cast Mordenkainen's Faithful Hound.
Do it.
I'm going to cast it, take out my tiny little silver whistle. The invisible spectral dog will appear next to Eridu. And at the start of each of my turns, the hound will attempt to bite something within 5 feet of Eridu that is hostile
Alright.
to Eridu.
Mordenkainen's faithful hound.
And as Mordenkainen's hound appears, so does the shadowy specter form. And it makes a flourish, and what looks to be daggers of shadow appear in its hands, and it just jabs them both into Eridu's back. He, of course, screams in pain as he's being stabbed, and that would make it Theala's turn again. I just decided to swap her, and
You're just gonna swap us?
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Batman. Okay. I am going to. Hold on. Let me just see the range on this. Okay. So, seeing Eigner is still in the cage and having just attempted to, uh, failingly attempt to take down Vincent, I am going to release the big dog, as far as I'm concerned, because I don't know he's blind. And I'm going to cast Dispel Magic on the cage.
Oh, it's already kind of dissipating, right?
Yeah,
Or...
yeah. The
But
cage.
how long is it going to take? Like, I guess, should I do an Arcana check to see how long it's going to take?
Yeah, do that.
Because anything more than...
I'm just gonna give you the information without a roll. He'll be able to get out of it by his next turn.
Okay, then in that case, I will not do that. And instead, I will... Hold on. Um... Okay, no, I don't want to do that. I am going to... I don't have much of anything worthwhile that's not going to blow up the whole room. No, you know what? Fuck this. I'm going to heat Zarkon.
Heat metal on Zarkon.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, wow. Dangerous.
I'm going to do that at 4th level. Yeah, 4th level. Which is a... What kind of shit is heat metal? Come on, let go. Nope, it just hits. It just hits.
Oh, yeah. You
It just hits.
because you're casting it on an object. You're not. It's
Yeah, it's a
kinda how
bad
that
day to
works.
be a Warforged, man.
Yeah. So,
So the the metal on the Warforged starts to glow red hot.
correct. And I do 4d8.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ooh, goddamn. I do 19. Yeah, I do 19.
19 damage. All right.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. And seeing that, that you are currently not paying attention to him.
Correct.
Those of you who are watching, start to see. I'm forgetting his name. Vincent. I'm so sorry. Vincent mutters another word, and he pulls out a fistful of dust and just throws it on himself and immediately disappears.
Okay.
And that would make it again back to Zarkon and Eridu. Eridu punches Zarkon and recoils really fast at the heat, and then swings around and just looks in dead horror at the shadow that had just stabbed him, and takes a few steps back from both the shadow and the form of Zarkon. The body of Zarkon is completely inert, and it's not moving at all. Still, like, one hand guarding his face, one hand up against its chest, the metal burning hot. That makes it
Eigner's?
Eigner's turn. Yeah, sorry,
Okay.
I got my people's turns all mixed up.
That's alright. So Eigner has just been standing there, kind of getting used to the feel of his body. He's been like stretching out little bits, seeing if he can, maybe spring into action. He's realized that he cannot see, but what he is experiencing, that he's just kind of accepting for the moment, is that his sense of smell, hearing, touch, all of that has just been boosted like crazy. So he's getting all this like sensory information that's not sight related at all, and he's just trying to make sense of it all. And then the other thing that is really weird that he really kind of enjoys is that he's starting to feel through the ground vibrations, and he's starting to get a sense of how the vibrations coming through him that he can feel through his feet and vibrating through the rest of his body, he's getting a sense of how that can aid his understanding of where everyone is positioned.
It almost feels as though he has like maybe 6 feet, and they're picking up these vibrations as if they're on a webbing of some type.
Almost like that. It's crazy, right? Yeah, it's insane. So Eigner, so now he has advantage on any perception checks that use hearing or smell or touch or even taste or whatever. Anything that's not sight. So
Yeah.
I'm going to do a perception check to see if I can pick up anything on the location of Vincent. Like perhaps hearing him muttering those things with the spells.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah, you could
yeah.
kind of pinpoint his location from his from him casting his invisibility spell. If he has not moved, you would be able to
Oh,
pinpoint.
he's gonna try for it, and he doesn't have any of his gear, so he's just gonna go try and like fucking boom, strangle or I don't know, punch or kick or do something.
You're gonna choke the shit out of him like it did
Yeah,
the.
well, yeah, that's kind of what he
Do
wants
it.
to do. So that's going to be a 22.
You rolled at disadvantage.
perception.
No, you
Advantage.
cancels itself out. But you also have disadvantage because he's in. Ooh,
It doesn't matter because I'm just hearing him. I don't have to see him.
that's
Invisibility just like affects like you can't see them, but I can't see
Yeah.
anything.
And
That's a
actually,
really good
it says
point.
that
Already
you can
brilliant.
basically pinpoint anything he can hear within like 120 feet or something.
All right, so you you charge forward and collide with Vincent. Both of you, well, with someone, both of you tumbling to the ground.
Oh hell yeah. Okay. Well, in that case, we're tumbling
You're
to
on.
the ground, so it's like he's prone already.
Yeah, you're on
Everything?
top of him. He's down.
Okay.
The rest of you see like Eigner jump out of that cage and just land on top of something invisible.
Oh, hell yeah. So are you gonna give me advantage for punching him because he can't really dodge me?
Is that how grapple rules work? 'Cause
I
I'm pretty
mean-
sure you just can only attack him. I don't know if they're.
Well, I mean, like,
Grapple, I don't think you get advantage on grapple. They just can't.
I mean, it makes sense because he's not in a position to like dodge or defend himself at all.
It's not gonna hurt you to have it, so I really don't mind. That's fine.
Sick. I love it. All
I
right.
don't see any particular reason why it would make a difference. I mean, I do see why it'd make a difference, but
Yeah. All right. So that's going to be 18 to AC.
that'll hit.
All right. So that's going to be 4 damage, and then I'm going to add
So
a
I wanted to
superiority dice
describe
on
this.
there.
You're just punching him in the face, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to describe this because the only other time you really get a chance to describe this is if someone is playing a monk.
Yeah.
So you're rearing back and you're punching, and as you get like just before you make contact, you feel like your fist is going through water for a split second,
Mm-hmm.
and then once it reaches a certain point, you're able to follow through with the rest of the punch and hit him in the face.
Mm-hmm.
But I just wanted to give a real cool description of mage armor
Oh, for sure.
because I feel like so often it's like I've got mage armor cast, it makes my AC higher, but we never explore how that
No.
looks or feels.
No. And Eigner is just totally unperturbed. Like, he just doesn't like magic anyways, or whatever. But feeling that makes him feel gross for a second, but then the punch connects, and he's like, oh yeah. Ah, da, da. So,
Technically
anyways.
speaking, he has to make a con saving throw.
Wait, what?
For the invisibility, yeah.
Yeah.
Keep on going with your damage because I need to
So-
know how much damage he needs to.
Yeah.
So it's a minimum DC 10 or half, whichever it is.
Oh yeah, no, I know. I just need to know what Eigner's damage is so I
yeah.
can
Well, I
figure
added,
out which one it is.
I added
Or, but it
a,
doesn't matter because you need to roll DC 10.
well,
Yeah,
I added a 2 damage on there for the superiority die, so that's 6 damage total for that
Okay.
first attack.
that's still a DC 10.
Yeah.
He is still invisible.
Is he holding anything? Actually, you know what? No. Forget that. I'm just like going for the extra damage right now. It doesn't really
Right.
matter. So then I'll go for my second attack. All right. Whew. 19. That's going to hit.
Oh yeah.
So that's going to be. Let me add another. Oh, that's going to be 10 damage for the second punch.
And he is still invisible.
Okay.
So that was 6 and 10. Okay.
Yeah. Well, and then I'm definitely gonna action surge, man.
Do it.
You definitely gotta do that. So I'm gonna go for just another attack action. Oh gosh, I'm rolled 18. That's a hit. And then, hold on. All right, so that's gonna be 8 damage. And you said I have him grappled, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't really need to like roll an additional thing to make sure I got him extra grappled necessarily.
No, you're still holding on to him. He'll make a check on his turn to break the grapple.
Okay. And then another nat 18. God, Eigner, he's just using everything he's got. Everything he's got. It's all worth it. Rolled 8 on the superiority dice, so that's 12 damage.
Nice.
So just 4 punches straight to his face, just kind of using every ability he has at the moment, just absolutely unloading on him.
And with so what I'm gonna describe this in a way that I would really like to. So you jump on him, and you start punching him like 1, 2. By punch 3, the rest of you see him, kind of take like materialize again, and he's puts a finger out and touches Agner's forehead. And I want you to make me a wisdom save with advantage.
Sick. Okay. Oh, 21.
All right. So you feel for a second you can see, and you start to feel like, the wind in your hair, and you are looking at your home. And then it occurs to you, like this, you just instantly pops in your head. This is another one of those tricks. You grab him by the collar, pull him up, rear back, and one final blow right to the nose, and like his head goes back, smacks into the floor, and he just like his arms drop, and he's just kind of rolling around like in his position, kind of moving a little bit, like he's trying to get away, but he's really just lost all his strength. The rest of you can kind of see like he's got blood pouring out of his nose and his mouth. His eyes are kind of lolling, like looking around lazily, but definitely dazed. He's got that look of a boxer about ready to pass out.
It's a first round KO right there,
Yeah.
dude. First round KO.
You can like Eridu, or Egner, you can hear him just Zargon. And the shadowy figure grabs Eridu and just slams him against the wall, and turns and says to Vincent, "You served me the best you could. It is not my fault it wasn't very effective." And that would make it Halifax's turn.
Okay. At the start of my turn, my faithful hound, since it can see invisible creatures and into the ethereal plane and ignores illusions, I'm gonna have it attack the menacing form of Zarkon that is near Eridu.
Sounds good.
Didn't he pop up invisible or visible? Oh,
Sorry?
no, this is Eridu. My bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is Zarkon that he's targeting.
Yeah, I apologize. That was
Norris.
I misheard.
I rolled a 19. I get a +8 to that to hit. So that's
That'll
27. Nice one. And it's 48. So that's 6, 7, 8, 11, and 18 damage.
Dang.
Piercing damage.
Is that a automatic attack every turn, or is that something you use your action to do?
It's an automatic attack every turn. That
And
is
it's
the
48?
Yep.
Damn, that's a good spell. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's a faithful hound right there.
Oh yeah.
Honestly.
It lasts for 8 hours. I did make a mistake last time I cast it, however. It doesn't move.
Oh.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's meant to guard one spot.
Speaking
I
of
see.
faithful
I
hounds,
see.
I don't know if you guys saw it, but I had one over my shoulder a minute ago.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, honestly, every time Halifax summons that dog, he should make a big deal out of just being like, good boy, you're such a good boy. Who's a good Mordenkainen's faithful hound? Yeah.
He should be Halifax's faithful hound.
Exactly. Just rename the spell.
Mm.
Oh, who's a good watchdog?
Yeah.
So, essentially what's happened is Eigner's leapt on Vincent and just
Oh, yeah.
started wailing on him.
Bah! Bah! Oh, 2 for flinching! Bah! Bah!
And Theala's been casting like heat metal on the body of the Warforged.
Yeah.
What was that the last thing?
This last thing I did, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, in that case, I was aware of the ghost form thing coming out of the Warforged.
Yes.
Is that right?
I mean,
Then
your
I
faithful
shall-
hound just attacked it, so.
But my faithful hound is also invisible, so I don't know what my dog's
Oh.
doing.
That is true.
So I will lightning bolt the ghost form.
Whoa.
Does that
Yeah.
jump to different targets?
No. It's a straight up 100-foot line.
Yeah. So dexterity saving throw on their part, DC 16.
Eridu also needs to make a dexterity saving throw because he's grabbed him and slammed him up against the wall, so he will be within that line.
I'm gonna stick with it. Yep. Go for it.
He's good at
That's
making
fine.
dex saves.
DC 16?
Yep.
Monks have like evasion stuff, right?
Oh, yeah, I've got evasion.
Yeah, so they can take like no damage on a success.
Right. Yeah, so, Eridu, like, kind of rolls out of the grapple, all too enthusiastically. And that lightning bolt slams into Zarkon. And just kind of, like, slams him into the wall, too.
Roll those d6s.
8d6. I'm casting
Dude.
it as a 4th level.
Oh, dude, I
Yeah,
love
yeah.
it. I love
yeah.
it.
Sorry, 9d6.
96. Yeah, I was gonna say it starts 8d6.
Yeah.
I had the opportunity to cast that with my tabletop version of Finnegan in this other game, and didn't do it for the first time. It was so sweet, so sweet. It's such a great spell. So
Does
good.
it only get an additional damage die at a higher level?
Yeah, it's 1 for each level above. So you
Huh.
can get it to above 10d6. Like, it's crazy. It's like
Yeah,
just a
but starting
bucket
out
of
at
dice.
8d6, and it's a 4th level spell?
3rd level
Yeah.
spell. I think it's like, well, the damage is tuned so high because you gotta aim it.
6.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
To get any more than one target, can be really tricky.
Oh,
Yeah.
but yeah, hitting multiple targets with it would be pretty.
For all the other
Devastating.
8d6 spells, they just add effects.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
like, not heat metal. There's one I should be getting soon. Or static shock does, or synapse or whatever it's called. It does 8d6, but then it also does other shit.
Word.
It has
43 damage.
That's what I'm talking about, big boy wizard.
43.
Now that's a spell.
Ow.
Yeah.
Ow.
Yeah, like synaptic static, it subtracts a d6 from all attack rolls and ability checks, as well as its Constitution saving throws to maintain concentration.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's so, and that also does 8d6. So the higher 8d6 ones just have effects.
Hmm.
For sure.
Okay.
Cool.
Cool. So who's next?
Give me just a moment. Sorry,
Word.
I'm
Should be
doing
me.
maths.
Math. Schmath.
Yes, it is Theala's turn. Zarkon is still there. He's still up and being blasted by this lightning bolt. Go ahead and go, Theala.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and use my bonus action to re-up the whatchamacallit, heat metal.
Okay. Could
So,
roll the damage on that.
die, and not as good this time around. 11.
11 damage. Okay.
Yeah. And then I'm going to kind of turn my attention to this ethereal form, and I am going to cast Dissonant Whispers. So I'm going to kind of mutter under my breath and grab my ocarina and cast Dissonant Whispers at 2nd level.
Is that a charm effect?
It is. Hold on. No, I mean it's just a regular attack. It's 3d6 or 4d6 for 2nd level.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a. Does it say if it's a? Where would it say if it's a charm spell?
Probably under keywords.
Just damage and control.
Okay, then it's not charmed.
Okay, so 3d6. It does. It is a wisdom save of 15.
Got a nat 20, so it's still half damage.
Let me make sure. Fail save 3d6. A successful takes half damage. Yeah.
Yep.
So it still takes 7 halved.
So that's
Oh no,
7.
sorry. Hold on. 10 halved.
The 10 is the half, right?
No,
Is that-
10 and then halved.
Okay, so 5.
Yeah.
All right.
I forgot I did it.
Higher level. Yep. Okay. Yeah. So you start to play your song, and like its form kind of twitches as a lightning bolt dissipates, and Zarkon's body it starts to glide towards its its metal form. And anybody who's kind of paying attention is seeing Finnegan. He is fumbling through, like, it's almost like a key ring full of charms, and he seems like he is really struggling to get whatever spell this is down, and he's just like, God, why aren't I? Then he kind of turns to Theala and says, "This is something you did, isn't it?" And then he throws the key rings on the ground, and that would make it Eigner's turn.
Already. Okay. I'm pretty sure Vincent should have a turn before I have a turn.
Vincent is passed out. Like,
Oh.
he's holding on to consciousness just barely.
Oh. So you're saying I shouldn't punch him anymore?
You can keep punching him if you want.
No. Interesting. So the only real threat now is like the Zarkon fucking thing. Right?
There's Ghost Con.
Ghost Con. But I don't know if Eigner is going to be able to... No, that doesn't feel like he should be able to pick up on where that is, necessarily. Unless when it starts clanking around in the metal, he'll definitely know where it is.
Yeah.
But with Ghost Zarkon, I don't think he even has an idea of how to triangulate that position.
Yeah, he wouldn't be able to hear him
No.
because he's ethereal.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely... and he wouldn't make any vibrations or anything on the ground. Again.
Exactly. So
No,
Yes.
So it does. I mean, the feat does have its.
it does have its drawbacks for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
If you
but it is really
were
flavorful.
to attempt to find Zarkon right now, it would be like finding an invisible target, you know?
For sure. Well, he's not going to fuck with that. Instead, he's going to just kind of like hover over Vincent, maybe he'll reach down. He'll like let go of the whole grapple, but he'll still be reaching over him. Maybe like slap him on the face a little bit, because he definitely wants to like turn the interrogation back on him. You know, in some
Right.
kind of sick way.
And like as you slap him, he just kind of mutters Zarkon's name again.
Zarkon won't help you. He can't help anyone. He can only serve his own selfish desires.
He kind of coughs and looks lazily up at Eigner and says, "Still got inside your head though, didn't I?" And that would make it Zarkon's turn. The shadowy form of Zarkon is going to just dive forward at whomever is closest. That isn't Eridu, because Eridu's kind of like back beside him. Either Fiala or Halifax.
I
Who would have been closer? I'm not sure.
guess I would have been. I would have ensured that I would have been between Halifax and anything that was a threat, because he's squishy.
Yeah. Okay.
She's got to protect her man.
Gotta protect her man. Oh shit! I closed the screen. I needed to have
He's
open.
fucking squishy, and she's anything but.
All right. He dives forward, and and kind of turns into more of a smoke, and just comes lunging at you like it seeps into your nose and your eyes. And I'd like you to make a wisdom save.
Jesus. 10.
Okay. Yeah. You cough and sputter as Zarkon's ghostly form just absorbs into your nose, eyes, and ears, and mouth, and then is gone. I
That's
would like you to
fucked up.
make a cantrip spell attack against Halifax.
Okay.
Oh shit, Zarkon's doing some Zarkon shit.
Go ahead and give me a wisdom saving throw. 15.
You sure you wouldn't like an intelligence saving throw? I got a 10.
Oh damn.
So I turn around sharply to Halifax and I say, I have to wonder if someone so short-lived can love anyone.
Ooh,
Oh what?
Zarkon's playing mind games too.
Oh seriously.
Take it's 6. And you have disadvantage on your next attack roll.
Playing mind games with the
The
boy.
only attack spell that she has is Vicious Mockery.
Vicious mockery. And you weren't even a good lover anyway.
Oh,
Vicious mockery.
That's pretty vicious.
That's her right now.
Hell
Um,
hath no fury.
Yeah.
which I believe makes it Halifax's turn.
Woman, I was kicking ghost ass. What you doing to me? Okay. Ah, bloody elves and their lack of being able to be put to sleep.
Yeah, they really.
You don't want to do
still
that
have
anyway, because
don't
I'm
they?
the only thing keeping Zarkon outside of his body.
Mm. Ooh. Oh, hold on.
And I'm
Just-
slowly melting it.
I say hold on. I am looking through my spells to see what.
Hey, I'll look through your spells too. I can look.
Hey, you reminded me I need to ask one of my players for my at-home game for a list of his spells.
I love D&D Beyond.
Beyond.
I
Because
use
I don't need to ask them shit.
yeah, I use the handy dandy overlay on Twitch to look at the spells.
I should use the handy dandy overlay to see what people are looking at, hit points wise.
Well,
I'm curious. Looks
Actually-
like Fiala hasn't taken any damage. I need
Nope.
to change that. To be fair, I've actually been beating up on Eridu with Zarkon, so he's the only one who's taken some substantial damage in this fight, aside from.
Well, this is only the second time she's been attacked, and the first time she saved against what's his face was doing.
Yeah. He was casting Phantasmal Killer, by the way, if you were curious.
Okay, I am going to use a 3rd level spell slot to cast blindness / deafness, and I am going to make both Thiala and Zarkon blind.
Wow.
join the party.
All right.
Join
So
the
both of
blind
them
party.
need to make a Constitution saving throw. DC is 16.
That is exactly what I rolled.
Oh, well, Zarkon's fine then. Thiala, care to take an arrow to the knee?
And arrow I take 10.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay,
I
I have
will-
blinded my ally.
I will make this caveat. As long as he is in Thiala, he is still blind.
Word.
He cannot see because he's using my senses.
Ah, so he's like fully in, not just like hovering over puppeting. He's like in.
Yeah, he's possessed her.
Oh, fantastic. Even better, yeah. Thiala, blind.
Well, there you go.
And at that, I will move over near to my faithful hound, which, despite Thiala being blind, she would still get an attack of opportunity against me, but it would be a disadvantage.
Yeah.
And
Well.
I don't believe Thiala has the opportunity to make spell attacks with attack opportunities.
No.
No, it's
Not even a
a
thing.
single melee attack.
It is actually. You can. It's a feat that allows you to make.
Right, but I mean like
cantrips.
under normal play.
Mm.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Um,
Warcaster, I think, does it.
Your hound is also close enough to the metal body that you could take a bite if it wants.
Ooh, yes. Let's do that. I rolled a 19 again, so that is a 27 to hit.
Oh yeah, that hits.
6, 7, 7 again, and a 2.
And
So that's 9, 15, 22.
20 damage. Alright. Josh.
Making my brain work, man.
Can I still slash at him with my rapier?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you what your attack was for.
I
your-
have a rapier.
Yeah.
But I
What's
do roll a disadvantage, correct?
Correct. Yeah, because you are blind.
Oh, somehow 2 2s. So plus 5, I think. So you're totally no plus 6, but that's a big ass whiff.
Yep.
It's a big whiff.
Yeah.
Big whiff.
It's as though Thiala has never used her rapier before, and starts to just flail about with it.
Yeah.
And Thiala, you can hear Zarkon cursing in your brain about how useless this body is. Whose turn is it?
It would be mine.
So it is your turn, yeah.
Okay.
So I will give you an option.
Yeah.
You can make a wisdom save, but before you do, you must decide: are you making a wisdom save to cast him out of your body, or are you making a wisdom save to keep him in your body?
Ooh, interesting.
But you have to decide before you roll.
No, I know. Well, before that, while I'm thinking, I'm gonna go ahead and continue heating metal.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah,
bonus
sure.
action, not a full action. So we might as well do that. 14.
Okay, that's damage, right?
Yeah, I think it's fire damage.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna keep him in.
All right. Make the save.
Okay. Jesus. 17.
That will succeed. Yeah, you can feel Zarkon starting to slip from you, and then you just concentrate your will, and those of you, well, let me guess, Halifax, you start to see the smoke like rising out of her face again, and then it just sucks right back in.
And I'm gonna say quite out loud, booming in my head, but also just kind of like very silently out loud. I'm gonna say, "You think you're stuck in, or you think I'm stuck in here with you?"
That makes it Egner's turn.
Eigner, he is just going to continue mocking and talking to Vincent.
Alright.
And he'll have Vincent's, front of his robes totally within his hands, just holding him up. And Vincent doesn't really have the strength to keep his head up, so he's just kind of like looking very pathetic off to the side like that. And Egner's like screaming in his face, like spittles flying out of his mouth. It's really like, it's not a pretty scene. And he just shouts like, "Where's Ethel?"
Where is she?
Exactly. I know. I should have just gone for that. Where is she? Where is she?
Swear to me.
Full on Batman right now, dude.
He like gives a weak smile, and you can tell that you've like knocked out his front teeth. And he says, "What does it matter? You're gonna kill me anyway."
Got you there.
What does he say? What does he say? He says, "She can't die too. What have you done to her?"
All he can do in response to that is laugh weakly and just say, "But she'll never wake."
I think Eigner underestimates the power of an abusive relationship.
Oh, well, he certainly does. He doesn't know anything about relationships, actually. Well,
Maybe Fiala and Eigner would have made a better match.
we'll never know. We'll never, ever, ever know.
Unless Asa DMs again and explores an alternative timeline.
Just the shittiest relationship ever.
Just the shittiest timeline ever.
Yeah.
Everything goes wrong. Wait, that's our timeline now.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Uh,
No, for that to be the case, Britain would need to be leaving the EU, and there'd need to be someone who was president of the United
Oh,
States.
I was referring to our our D&D timeline, but
Oh, right.
Oh.
we're definitely pretty close.
I got timelines confused.
Yeah, we got our timelines crossed. We crossed the streams.
Bummer.
With that, Zarkon whispers to you, "I can still hurt you in here, and I'd like you to make me a wisdom save."
17.
Okay. You pass the save, but you're still going to take the half damage. That is 6 psychic damage. And you recognize that he has pilfered your brain and is casting dissonant whispers on you.
Gotcha. I'm gonna say I think you underestimate who you're up against.
And that will make it Theola's turn. No, Halifax's turn.
Nope, Halifax's turn. Yeah.
Scooby, attack the statue thing.
The most is, what do I do? I'm going to
boy.
attack the object that doesn't move.
Hmm. Well, the dog also similarly cannot move, and so might as
Right.
well destroy his body, give him something to not go back. Take just yeah. I want to fuck his shit up.
Word.
All right.
Oh, rolled a 1. That's a 9 to hit. That's
Yeah, Scooby latches onto the leg and then yelps and like jerks away.
mm, Scoob.
I don't think it doesn't have hit points, does it?
Poor Scoob.
No.
Okay. Otherwise, it would have taken damage. Okay, and that makes it Theala's turn again.
Well, since
Oh.
the dog's attack doesn't take my action,
Yeah, you still have that.
I still have a thing. So I've made Theala blind. Now she's sort of like fighting with herself. Okay.
You hit yourself.
Let's now try. So who else seems to be active in this engagement? Then is it
Well,
because
Finnegan. Finnegan is starting to fiddle around with his another spell.
Mm,
That is slowly etching him a little bit closer to Zarkon's metal body. It looks like he is fumbling really hard to do this, but it looks like he's attached a string around, like an invisible, not an invisible string, but like a magic string around Theala, and is like reeling it towards Zarkon's metal form.
mm.
Eridu is in the corner, just like staring at Zarkon's inert body and just like cowering.
Is this is a meta question to inform my choice? Is Finnegan needing to make attack rolls, like spell attack rolls, to do his thing?
No, he's having to make ability checks.
Ability checks. Okay.
Yeah.
Could I use the aid or help action
Yes, you could.
by
That's a sweet idea.
basically like giving some of my magical energies to help him do what he's wanting to do and give him advantage on that?
Yeah. So if you kind of go over to him or say anything to him, he'll just be like, "Take this. My fingers aren't quite working like they should be," and he'll hand you this silvery string that he's created, and then he will start instructing you on doing this spell.
Okay.
So you are now doing it, and he is aiding you.
Ooh.
Make me an Arcana check with advantage.
Good, because that was a 7. That was rubbish. That was a 1! I'll take the 7! Plus my Arcana, which is a +8. So that is 15.
That is a success. You continue to unravel the string a bit further. You are now very close to Zarkon's metal form, and that would make it Theala's turn.
Once again, heat metal. I don't know if you're actually tracking the hit points for the Warforged, but
I am, yes.
I did. I was not saying that as like a. I was just saying I don't know if you're doing it, but she's going to continue attack because she doesn't know.
So I'm telling you, as a GM, for player knowledge, I am doing it. Your spell isn't pointless.
I'm okay with a spell being pointless. Oh, Jesus, goddamn fucking nutsery.
As long as you don't roll like shit.
Well,
It's fine if it's useless. Just roll well.
right? Yeah, 7, 3, 1, 1, so 12.
Okay, 12 damage.
And hold on 1 second. Thing I can do. Is Zarkon trying to?
Oh, yeah, he is trying to get out of your brain.
Okay,
Forgot about that.
if he's trying to get out of my body again, then I will.
Make another wisdom save.
Okay, now that's player knowledge. Okay, or that would be. I was gonna ask if he would have to make a roll to try to get out, but that's metagaming. So
No, I'm having metagaming anyway. I'm having you make the roll. I'm not having him make it on his turn.
right, that's what. Yeah. I was gonna see if I could bestow curse inside my head. That's what I was asking.
Yeah.
But then I was like, no, that's metagaming. That wouldn't be. Wisdom saving throw 15.
Okay. That is a success. So he is still inside your brain.
Okay. A level of smug. Like, I don't care if I die in the process, you're coming down with me, or I'm taking you down if I have to go down with you. Like seeps into my brain, like emanating into his like essence.
The old Andros quote.
Huh?
I go down, I'm taking you with me.
Oh no, I hadn't thought of that, but yeah, that's the the idea.
Thinking about it, this is Theala's perfect relationship. This is a guy that can't leave her, abandon her, like lives as long as she does, always with her. She can never feel alone.
Actually, because she was fine being alone.
This kind of sounds like torture.
Up until Halifax, she was perfectly fine being alone.
Sorry to ruin that for you.
Yeah.
Um,
It's kind of like you think that you think your bed is fine up until you get married, and then your wife goes, I mean, you know that we're going to change all of the shit, right? And you're like, no, that's stupid. My bed is fine. And then you buy all new shit, and you're like, no, you were right. This was a much better idea.
all right, Eigner, what words do you have to say to Vincent?
I don't know. At this point, I don't know. He'll just ask. So I'm gonna say like he'll just like ask like one thing, and then if he doesn't like the answer or whatever, then he'll just like punch again.
So why don't you roll me an intimidation roll?
Oh,
Since you are clearly doing something that would require some kind of response.
you know, I guess that's a good point. I guess.
Plus, it keeps you rolling dice in combat. Why
That's
not?
true. That's true. Do I have advantage on this intimidation at all?
I would say no.
Okay, that's cool.
Just because.
Oh, okay. I'll say, I'll just look at him and just get really like super intense and just say, why? Why? And why did I roll a 5? It's a total of 6.
He just kind of lets his head drop to the side and says, because you got too close.
Punk ass bitch. It's time to smash him. So I'll just like get 2 more punches on him.
Eridu, why can't you roll a wisdom save?
Yeah. rolled a
For a monk, that's pretty impressive.
rolled a nat 19 on that, and Eigner's just gonna keep expending everything he has. Oh, so that's gonna be 12 damage with the first punch. Does that
Dang.
does that knock him out, or
It does. That one just
Just-
takes him out of consciousness
just completely
entirely.
takes him out of consciousness? Okay.
Yeah, you just boom and he just drops.
All
Any
right.
more punches right now would essentially be failed death saves for him.
Yeah, well, I'll just let him like do his whole death save thing. I don't think he's gonna be that lucky, and maybe I'll come back and kick him a little more. I don't know, but for right now, Eigner will just call that his turn, just giving him
Does
that
a-
final.
Does an ear flick count as a melee attack?
Yeah.
Because if I
Blink,
just
blink.
ear flick him 3 times, is he gonna
Failed death
die?
save, failed death save. Like do 1 damage each time if it's hard enough.
Right.
Wow.
I would go. It counts, but it's at disadvantage.
All right. Zarkon gets to go. Okay.
Yeah.
So then, Zarkon says, "Well, if you think you are really in control here, let's see how you like this." And you've taken your free hand and pressed it to your own chest. And I would like you to cast. What spell was that? Scorching Ray on yourself.
Can't. I used it against the
Ooh.
dog.
Oh, okay.
Oh shit.
Where is? Oh yeah, your only damaging cantrip is
Yeah. My only
Vicious
damaging
mockery.
cantrip is Vicious Mockery.
I want you to say something mean about yourself.
Okay. Okay. I will obviously also roll a wisdom saving throw against myself, which I fail.
You're going to say this out loud for everyone to hear, by the way. So this
Okay.
is probably going to be you like building on your own fears.
Yeah.
Why do you keep doing that?
I mean, to be fair, she could just say that. Like, why do you keep doing that?
Yeah. No, I'm gonna say to myself, be honest with yourself. No one's ever loved you.
Ooh. All right, and deal your damage, and then that puts us
Too late.
to.
2, and I have disadvantage on my next attack roll.
All right. Oh, that's helpful. All right, Halifax, make your roll for the spell. Finnegan's in your ear, going. All right, now just bound it around. Be careful of the heat.
Oh, yeah. Got a 19, so that's 27.
All right. Following his directions, you tie this silver cord around Zarkon's body, and then Finnegan like takes the slack in between and kind of like kind of twangs it like you do like you do, and he goes, "All right, good. Hold on tight," and then he grabs onto it. All right, 3, 2, 1, and then he pulls, and the rope goes right through Theala, and when it comes out, it's got Zarkon's shadowy form attached to it, and he flings it back into the metal body, which with the heat metal spell going on, it has been like fusing and warping this metal in and on itself. And then and then Finnegan reaches in his pocket and he pulls out a small like stone with a rune engraved on it, and he slams it into Zarkon's into his back.
Ooh.
And
And he goes, ooh, hot, hot, hot.
Right. And you can smell the searing flesh as his hand is pressed up against it, and he's gritting his teeth and he shouts, "Be gone!" And then the form just crunches in on itself, and you can hear Zarkon just screaming, and his last words are, "You will not be rid of me this easy." And then all that's left is this crunched, crumpled ball of wood and stone, and metal that has this stone rune embedded into it. And that's the end of combat.
Wow.
Dude. Okay.
Well, that was easy.
Says you.
Eridu kind of shakes himself off a little bit and looks around.
I assume I can just dismiss blindness if I wanted to.
I don't see why not.
Yeah, you can. Usually you can.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a concentration spell.
You
I'm not
can't.
sure if it is.
You can't dismiss my blindness,
Nope.
even if you wanted to.
Oh, I will. I'm not making any considerations for blind Eigner. What color is it, Halifax? Shouldn't have lost your eyes.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, I will. It's not a concentration spell, so what I'll do instead then is I'll go over to Theala and just sort of like gently guide her arms and sort of my arm around to sort of like walk her towards somewhere like a stool or something. Just sit her down. Just to get her calmed down and stuff. She's been blinded and possessed and stuff.
Get a room, y'all.
Ew, that's grown-up stuff.
So I'm just gonna touch my eyes and um, just say a little something under my breath, and I'm gonna dispel magic. And as we're walking, and then I'm going to say, "I need a moment," and I walk off like far away from everybody else. A lot of shit's been going on for her, and she doesn't know how to fucking deal with any of this. So, she said things out loud to you that she didn't mean, but for her, she meant every piece of it. So,
Whoa.
so she needs to. This is a new emotion that she needs to cope with as well. So, yeah. So she's just gonna like head off in a corner.
Okay. I'll give you your space.
Yeah.
All right. Eridu will kind of come over and put a hand on Eigner's shoulder. To which I'm assuming, not expecting it, Eigner would give a bit of a start or something.
Oh
since he
yeah.
can't see.
Oh sure, he would. I mean, he would feel him approaching.
Yeah.
He would feel him approaching, but like he wouldn't. Yeah, and he's also just got that kind of skittish kind of vibe right now, where he doesn't really want to be touched at all, and so yeah, he'll start, but he can sense that it's Eridu.
He says,
Yeah, I'm
"You,
not that high.
you,
Yeah.
you sure did a number on Vincent here."
Yeah, I did. I had to make sure that I had to do that because then I wouldn't be sure if you were you.
I'm not going to pretend to understand what that means, but he takes your hands and is looking at the backs of them and says, "But these will need to be tended to. Broken knuckles are not a fun thing to heal."
Yeah, I would like that. I would like very much to to be away from here. Eridu, I I can't see.
You can't see the look of shock on Eridu's face.
Ever since I regained consciousness, I I can't see anything, but I can sense. I can sense things still. I can still sense you. I knew it was you and you were walking up, but I can't really explain how or why I knew it was you.
You sense for a moment, Eridu releases your hands, and you sense him kind of rummaging around on Vincent's body, and he grabs your hand again. And he says, "I found this," and he puts something in your hand. And as you kind of feel it, it feels like a round marble
Mm-hmm.
with 8, like almost like toothpicks sticking out of it, like 8 curved, pointed things sticking out of it.
Uh-huh.
Don't stick it in your eye socket. That's...
Probably not a good idea.
He says,
Knowing Finnegan, I thought it was like he pulled an eye out and stuck
Oh.
sticks in it. It's like,
"Oh,
oh,
this
no,
is,
this
this
is
is,
This is
yeah,
Eridu.
Eridu."
Oh, sorry, my mistake.
Eridu, he says, "This looks like an eyeball with spider legs."
uh,
Don't know what happened to you, but this might hold some kind of key. And I think we both know someone who might be able to help figure out what this is used for. I may need to go find this person.
okay. That would be helpful.
I don't know what you've been through, but it clearly was a lot.
I hope one day I'll be able to tell you.
Finnegan coughs. I hate to break up this wonderful reunion we've got here, but there might be more of these mages that aren't on our side. But I also remember Emily wrote letters to some others who might actually help us. So maybe we should be looking for threats and or allies, and then try to get out of here as quickly as we can.
I see no reason to doubt him. I think we should get a move on out of here. Lingering too long would only lead to danger.
I need to find my sword. I don't know where my sword is.
Okay, all right. Let's take this logically. We'll split into groups and we'll go searching for things that matter. I'll take the first group that's leaving. So who's leaving?
I will stay and help Eigner.
All right. Well, you do what you need to do, and I'll make sure we can get out of here. And he, without any more words, pulls out some chalk and starts to draw on the floor.
So what are we doing? Like, someone's going out and searching for...
Well, what we should be doing is we should be finding a good wrap-up point right now.
Yeah, no.
That is exactly what we are doing.
Yeah.
But
So-
like in-game wise, I think it's basically some people staying with Finnegan protecting the exit, and
Yeah.
some of us going off to find Eigner's sword with Eigner.
So I will give you guys the wrap up, since I do not plan on using the dungeon that Kyle had elaborately made for the bureau place.
Yeah, that's all good.
Finnegan is drawing up a teleportation circle,
Mm-hmm.
while the rest of you you search the manor for Eigner's things. You come across the two people that that Ethel had said were trusted, friends of hers that would help. And you guys end up searching the rest of the bureau with their aid. End up finding Ethel herself, who is in a wakeless sleep, and she is bald from head to foot, and her skin is like, it's the look of someone who has been badly burned.
Oh, shit.
And yeah, she just has scar tissue of someone who's been burned from all over, and yeah. That's, I think it's pretty much where we're gonna wrap up.
Mm-hmm.
And we can next session kind of touch on these things a little bit, but at this point, the bureau is a safe enough place for you guys, and you guys can easily get back to Twin Harbors without problem.
Okay. Well, what another doozy of a session right there. Please come back and join us next Tuesday at noon Pacific time to 3 o'clock. And we'll continue this crazy story. The episode is called Shifting Tides. And thanks for joining us.
Cheers, guys.
Yeah.
See you later.
Cheers. Have a good one. Thanks for
Bye.
watching.